And run it. This was something the Bears did. Now, what did they expose the Packers on?
We talked about interior run offense when we talked about Carolina. We're talking about interior rush offense as we talk about the Chicago Bears as well. You want to establish the run, control the tempo of the game. They were able to do that. Thomas Jones was going to be the guy in the spotlight here. You look at the line, you get the guard pull. We talked about it this morning on Primetime. 6-hole, a lot of ways to get to it. Here the pulling guard, he makes that cut off that block, and he is off to the races, drugged down on about the 16-yard line. Again, out of the I formation. This is a run formation. Again, weak side down at the bottom of your screen. Slot open is what you're looking at. Again, you get the pull. They attack again the other way. 6-hole, if you will. Makes the cutoff of it back inside. Going straight downhill, what we call a straight line runner, running downhill. It's the way you attack a defense and you give them the most punishment.
And congratulations to Lovie Smith with his first win as an NFL head coach. Mora had his last week, and now the only one left to see is Mike Mularkey, the guys who have never coached head coach before. Well, this guy's had a couple of wins. So is he. But I'm talking about Joe Gibbs, Redskins into the Meadowlands to face Tom Coughlin. Little griping, but you know what? The Giants were there way early for everything. Mark Brunell sacked by Fred Robinson. Michael Strahan arrives in the pocket 7 minutes early, and they have the football. Next play of the Giants. Kurt Warner looks good today, Tom, huh? He throws deep for Jim Carter. The dive. Touchdown. Warner, 22 of 33, no picks. But turnovers, well, it was a bakery for the Redskins. Clinton Portis is a fumble. Derek Green had the tie on for the meeting and a touchdown. The Giants lead 14-7 on the 16-yard fumble recovery. Then, more Giants defense, 4 with a swarming Mark Brunell. Tricky Redskins, but forget about it. Tipped and picked by the big fella, Fred Robbins. One of 31 flavors, Baskin and Robbins. 3rd turnovers for the Giants.
Great job of tipping the ball, bringing it down, getting the interception. Quarterbacks have to understand there are times to eat the football. You don't want to throw it up for grabs, especially in your own territory.
And then Brunell came up lifting. He's day-to-day. Skins will play the next Monday night. Leaves with a left hamstring injury. So the Skins are down 20-7. And Patrick Ramsey, who's a good one, throws it deep to Rod Gardner. Nice, 51 yards. So the Redskins maybe still feel, despite the turnover, they're in business. Ramsey throws to the corner, but Brent Alexander is there. Again, the Giants early on double coverage. Still 20-7. Portis running. And it's going to be a fumble. O.C.U. Mignori picks it up. 5 turnovers for the Skins. Now it's 20-14. Gabriel Wilson, rookie, picks off Ramsey. 6 turnovers. And then Brent Alexander makes another pick. 7 turnovers. Oh, by the way, also 4 sacks turned in by the Giant defense. You know what? I told you on countdown they're going to return the opening kick at 12:55 and get a jump. They were all getting a jump on the Redskins all day long. And, boy, Joe Gibbs hadn't lost a game in 12 years. He finally lost one. Giants 20-14. And in a puzzler, I think Warner looked good.
Well, I think that's the key that you take away from this game. We've seen Kurt Warner. We haven't seen him play well for a long time. He stepped up in the pocket today and threw the ball off pretty well.
And the Giants win it, and they end the season. And Dion Ray Lewis ready.
We knew we don't like that other side. We don't like nothing about it. We don't like nothing about the people over there. Nothing.
Well, the Ravens in their home opener, and they mean business. Terrell Suggs sacking Tommy Maddox. Ravens defense. Now, they know that Pittsburgh has beaten them 6 of the last 8, but boy, Baltimore brought the D. Maddox pressured again by Suggs. Intentional grounding. Maddox fiery. I don't know what I would take on the Ravens in this house. Of course, Bill Cowher hates the call of intentional grounding, and he's going to show it right on his face. Meanwhile, 2nd quarter. Ravens really controlled the ball in this game, too. Also territorially, Deion Sanders, 23 yards, but minus 15 for taking off the helmet.
They didn't have that rule when last time.
You saw it in that 8-yard return, Deion. 3rd and 7 over the 19th for Pittsburgh, and Maddox on a plexical burst, and gets over, leaves the game with a hamstring injury, would not return him into play there. So it's 13-0 Baltimore. Time of possession. Kept Pittsburgh in their own zone. Gary Baxter rustles in. Hits Maddox on the arm at the fumble. Suggs recovers. Returns to the one, and Maddox injured right elbow. He's out at least a week, and so that means Roethlisberger, who played, will be the starter next week. Meanwhile, down at the 1, Jamal Lewis, 1-yard run, 20-0 Ravens. Now, Roethlisberger threw a couple of touchdown passes, gave Pittsburgh hope. But in the end, this one looks like a different route run, and Chris McAllister made them jump off the Tallahatchie Bridge. 51 yards, gets over Roethlisberger at the end zone. McAllister with a big play for that defense, and the Ravens quote a 30-13 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers as the Maddox struggled and left. So Baltimore, you know what, their defense set the tone, and boy, they were suffocating it.
Yeah, and this is the way that they're going to win football games. I think they have to depend on the deep. You look at those numbers for Kyle Bowler, 10 of 18 for 98 yards. You're going to win most of your games on the defensive side of the ball.
Even though Lewis had only 62, each team is 1-1. Meanwhile, both teams won these games between 1-0 teams, 4 that we had, the Rams and the Falcons. Mike Vick and the Falcons. Well, the Rams have beaten the Falcons 7 straight times. Mike Hill has been a big reason why. Second quarter, Falcons lead 7-0. They need business. Watch Mike Vick. To the 15, the 10, the 5. Wow! 14-yard gain. Jeremy Butler flips him, Tom.
And take another look at it. I mean, we talk about what Mike Vick should and shouldn't do. He only knows one way to play football, and he's playing it all out. He's going to do whatever he can to help his team win.
Forward done with a nice cut. 2-yard run swimming into the end zone. 14-0 Falcons. Jim Moore's team looking to go up on Mike Marshall's team even more. Fourth down Rams. Falk on the carry, and he's wide open for the touchdown. 14-7 now. In the second quarter, Vick. Now watch this series of plays. Vick taking over in his own 26-yard line. Eventually. Talk about an athlete. Well, this is what we missed last year. Well, nobody open, and what? First down, and then I want more, and then get out of bounds so I don't get hit. 20-yard gain then on the 50. Watch this, Tommy. And 14-yard gain. Then I feel like another run in me, and then the jitterbug into the outside, and bounce it outside, get a block, cut it in. 18 yards, sets up a field goal, 17-7.
Yeah, you just watch the way he destroys the angles when he's going down the field. He's the most dangerous player, I believe, to ever play quarterback in terms of his ability to scramble and make things happen out of the pocket.
Third quarter, the Rams down 10, trying to respond. Mark Bolger, who is only 5-4 on the road, as much success as the Rams have had. To Torrey Holton, watch this. Speaking about, I don't know if this is Mo, Larry, Curly, or Shep. 17-14. Now, Vick tries to move, doesn't quite get the first down on 3rd and 8. Next play from the 3. Warton gets the first down and the touchdown. 24-17. Atlanta back in, and then the defense took over. Mark Bolger. If I only could avoid the sack. Patrick Curry down at the 1, and then Bolger. If I only could keep the ball in my hand and went in the air. No! Touchdown! Brady Smith! Touchdown! Mike Marks actually threw the challenge play. Is it Mike? Well, hit the ground. Yeah, so don't bother. 31-17. The Falcons lead to go on and a field goal. 4-17. Atlanta. 4-7. Tough opening schedule for Indianapolis. And Tennessee coming in 1-0. They were ready in a battle of co-MVPs. Now, Indy won both games last year between these two. As Peyton Manning finally shed that albatross. Chris Brown, not Eddie George this year, and he's a dimension that they didn't have last year. 20-yard bounces and outside 7-0 Titans.
Yeah, and watch the rookie Jacob Bell going to come across and make a great block, but this kid has great vision, Chris Brown. Sees the cutback lane, got that high he has to remind me of Eric Dickerson a little bit. You don't want to run too high because you take a lot of shots, but he has great acceleration. That's an outstanding run.
Back in the saddle, the most points, the most field goals. Gary Anderson, a 39-yard field goal, like he never left. 10-3 Titans. But later in the second, Marvin Harrison coughs up the ball. Samari shakes, rattled and rolled. Colts only 3 points in the first half, but Tennessee had a chance to really bury the Colts. But in the second half, It was the Colts that said, not so fast. Peyton Manning to Reggie Wayne. Stately Wayne Manners out of the back cave. Touchdown. We're tied at 10. Now, Chris Brown running hard. Down to the 5, down to the 1-yard line. Sets up McNair with a sneak. So Tennessee back on top, 17-10. Colts. Play action late third. Manning. Reggie Wayne. Oh, couldn't keep his feet. It's still 44 yards. Oh, we had a touchdown. But no worry. Edgerrin James. Early hanging on to the ball here. Bouncing. 22 yards down to the 2. And then they switch ends. First play of the fourth quarter. How about this play action? Beautiful. Marcus Pollard wide open. The game is tied at 17. Then turning point in the game. 4th and 2 Titans. Inside the 30. Derek Mason open. But Nick Harper steals the ball for the Colts.
This is the most difficult of interceptions. Nick Harper didn't look back. He read Mason's eyes to figure out where the ball was. Made a great interception.
And then Manning says, thank you, Nick, to Marvin Harrison. 34 yards. Great concentration as we see it again.
Ball thrown to the outside shoulder. Defender can't get to it. Great job of getting your feet in bounds, Marvin.
Okay, now inside the 5. Edgerrin, hold on. No problem. Edgerrin James, touchdown, 24-17, the Colts. Tennessee punting, 4th and 10 under 5 to go. Little trickery. Hendrick, complete, but this though not far enough for the first down. The Titans were 0-3 on 4th down gambles, Tom. And Edgerrin James then bounces outside. Head let him go. Into the end zone, 30 yards, the 100% healthy Edgerrin James.
Absolutely.
And the Indianapolis Colts stare 0-2 in the face, come back to beat the Titans in Tennessee, 31-17. Remember last year, Tennessee lost only one game in their home stadium, and that was to the Indianapolis Colts, who all of a sudden have their number. And I would say in this game, a couple things we didn't show you there. Tennessee went for it the way Chris Brown was running for it in the first half. They went for it on 4th down inside the 5, and the Colts defense, they had a chance to bury the Colts. The Colts resilient, and then they looked like a championship team again. This time they had a win to show for.
You used the right word. You think all the way back to last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, scoring those touchdowns at the end of that football game, coming back. It's all about mentality, and I think that Tony Dungy has convinced this football team we are never out of a game. We've got a lot of weapons. This is going to help us defensively, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with all the way through the season.
Here's a stat you won't look at. In the rushing department, Manning 5, McNair 2. So, wow, that's the only time that happened. Even out resting that big win for the Colts is both. And all excitement in Cincinnati as Carson Palmer makes his home debut as a starter at quarterback. Into town to play the Bengals, the Miami Dolphins. Linda Cohn with the highlights.
ESPN Sunday Night Football. Bengals trying to beat the Dolphins for the first time since 1977, a span of 9 losses. A.J. Feely gets the start for Jay Fiedler. Feely, sacked. Dolphins with just 226 total yards of offense. Randy McMichael disgusted. He needs to talk to Dr. Phil right away. So 13-3 Bengals. First and goal for the Dolphins. Feely finding Chris Chambers. 21-39 for 218 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 picks for Feely.
He's not the fraud. Dr. Phil.
I understand. Miami scored 10 points in the 4th to tie it up. Bengals with a chance to win. Shane Graham from 39 yards away. Yes, Carson Palmer made it happen. That's right, 7 for 8 for 53 yards in the final drive with under 2 minutes left. And don't miss Sunday Night Football next week, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. It's the John Gruden Bowl, Fox at Raiders, preceded by NFL Primetime and followed by SportsCenter.
Pair of teams that are 1-0 going into game number 2. The Jets and the Chargers facing off at the Murph. Curtis, my favorite Mike, off his 196 yards last week against the Bengals, gets 2 here, and the Jets lead it 14-0. Hearns got a different club this year. Now it's 17-0, and Tim Dwight back. Do you think he's bad, Tom? And then he could go all the way. 87 yards. Chargers on the board at 17-7. But it's 27-7 the Jets. Until LaDainian Tomlinson. 4-yard run, 27-14. Now 27-21. Chad Pennington. Despite his accuracy, Santana Moss gets bumped, but still catches it 48 yards. Sets up a Chris Baker touchdown, 34-21 Jets. Doug Flutie in, the ageless one, subbing for Breeze. Flutie, you know he's going to fleet one. To Eric Parker, who pens the first down. That sets up, and you know he's going to do this, and he can still move. Get under there, does he? 6 yards, 34-28. Chargers, you know the onside kick's coming. And with the good hands, it's Wayne Crookback. Good to see him out there. If it's the right thing, he's contributing to the Jets.
Flutie Slate.
34-28 winners, and we should say this. Curtis Martin, another 100-yard game, 119 yards, passes Freeman McNeil as the all-time rusher in Jets history. So congratulations to Curtis, who looks awful strong.
Yeah, and you talk to Coach Herm Edwards, and he's always going to tell you, this is the guy that makes the offense go. He's making it go.
Pennington, 22 of 29, no picks.